Hey, high school literacy leaders, welcome back to Curriculum Chats. This is DLC Foster Yankee, and in this video, I'll be discussing lesson 4 in the first section of the Warmth of Other Suns unit. The goals for this lesson have students evaluating details read in the first half of Part 2 of the Warmth of Other Suns to understand key ideas, analyzing Wilkerson's purpose and message within the first half of Part 2 of the book, as well as characteristics and structural elements of the first half of Part 2 of the book, such as the relationship between organizational design and Wilkerson's purpose. Still the same text students are reading, and the materials for this lesson are the Attending to Details tool, Warmth of Other Suns Jigsaw Note-Taking tool, Structure Note-Taking tool, Vocabulary Journal, and Annotating and Note-Taking and Questioning Reference Guides. In this lesson, students will continue working in their expert groups to engage in their first jigsaw reading about the three central figures in Wilkerson's text: Ida Mae Brandon Gladney, George Swanson Starling, and Robert Joseph Pershing Foster. This lesson begins with students continuing to work with their expert group to read the assigned pages for their assigned focus figure, discussing what they noted for homework with their expert group, and revising their responses to the guiding questions on the screen on their Jigsaw Note-Taking tool. Per the teaching notes, some students might struggle with comprehending the complex text. Questions are available in the teaching notes to help teachers provide support, as well as more challenging questions for students who have demonstrated advanced competency. Next, to help them think about the connections between what they read and the epigraph by Wright, which was mentioned in the previous lesson, it makes me think these lessons were intended to be combined, because if you recall from lesson 3, it mentioned students will be discussing that epigraph at the end of the lesson. That didn't happen. So I truly do think lesson 3 and lesson 4 are intended to be combined. But back to activity 2. To help them think about the connections between what they read and the epigraph by Wright, students individually compose a quick write in which they respond to the questions on the screen. Students then prepare to share their ideas during the whole class debrief. Teachers can collect and review quick writes from students who might need additional support. If they do, they should return quick writes to students in their next lesson so they can refer to them as they continue to work on the structure note-taking tool. This lesson concludes with students reading pages 36 through 46 and 89 through 94 in part 2 of The Warmth of Other Suns, and annotating the text with reference to the push factors that encouraged people to leave the South and the pull factors that encouraged people to move north and west. If necessary, they also finish reading their jigsaw sections and adding responses to the jigsaw note-taking tool, being sure they are ready to share in a jigsaw discussion with their home group in the next lesson. Teachers can refer students to the annotating and note-taking reference guides for additional support. Students also write new or interesting words they encounter in their vocabulary journals. So the Cub did challenge me a little bit with this one. I think because this lesson could be combined with lesson 3. We probably could just use the same Cub that we talked about at the end of lesson 3. But I did try to come up with something new just in case. Not too confident in this one, though. So I have students will know the epigraph Wilkerson uses to begin The Warmth of Other Suns, understand the relationship between the epigraph by Richard Wright and their focus figure, and be able to evaluate details read in the first half of part 2 of The Warmth of Other Suns by Isabel Wilkerson to understand key ideas using a jigsaw note-taking tool. So on that note, that's a wrap for this video. Again, I welcome your feedback, especially about that Cub, and look forward to hearing from you either on Twitter, via email, or in the comments. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe so you never have to worry about missing a video. Thanks for watching.